Yeah, I heard seen your pictures. No.
Last night it was supposed to be like 80% chance last night. There's the big system on the silver.
Oh, their mom. Daughter.
Oh, got it.
I'm like, oh, okay, no, she's like, yeah. She must definitely,
There was
You're outside and in the sun. Like a virus can last like 30 seconds.
Hi guys, we're about 5 minutes from starting, so if you guys want to get situated and get to your seats, we're about 5 minutes from starting. Thank you.
probably would have. Probably not him.
We haven't successful so far.
that has like strap list. Yep.
I don't think she's cracking it. Yes, I know.
Yeah, what's she doing? What did you finally tell her to go?
I hear it was, yeah, at least a week ago. Maybe a little more than that.
I want to say maybe before New Year. Okay. Oh, that's why.
Yeah, they took way back after COVID. So then they're out there. What they did instead is like this 6-month probationary period where it's license, probationary license. And so then if they get the rat or whatever, then they'll do some further evaluation. Those patients just get, not get any speeding ticket for. Yep, if she stays clean for 6 months, I think she'll be here till after probably the next adjustment. They said they may still have to yet. I was driving at such a young age that I didn't mind the road
Yes, that's what it is. I'm trying to figure out.
There were quite a few. More than I thought. No, she didn't. I've seen them.
I had it in my phone. I didn't watch it. A big pointer.
What a beautiful day to be at Pheasant Hills Golf Course. Welcome to the 2020 Hammond Heartland Days Royal Coronation. We are so happy you were able to be with us.
First, we'd like to introduce to you your 2020 Hammond Heartland Days Royal candidates. Candidate number 1, Kira Afdal. Candidate number 2, Mia Evans. Candidate number 3, McKenna Hawkins. And candidate number 4, Carlene Hetrick. Good luck to you, ladies. While the candidates prepare for their personal presentations, I'd like to thank the current court on behalf of the Hammond Royalty Committee and the Hammond Lions Foundation for a great year. It may not be the year you'd hoped for, but you gals have still done a great job of representing the heart of St. Croix County. Your 2019 Hammond Royal Court. Miss Hammond, Jazzy Geiger. Miss Congeniality and Princess Cassie Wang. And Princess Krista Gary. Thank you, girls.
Just as important as the candidates, let's meet the judges who will decide the candidate's fate. Let's give a warm welcome to Tammy Erickson. Tammy is married to her husband Mark, and they have 3 grown children. She works in Glenwood City as a special education paraprofessional and will be starting her 23rd year later this month. She was Miss Congeniality 1983 to 84 for Glenwood City. She also volunteers for the Rustic Lore Committee and serves on the Queen's Committee as their parade and events coordinator. Tammy has volunteered for many years with her church, 4-H clubs, and at the Glenwood City schools. Cheryl Lindquist. Cheryl grew up in Roberts and graduated from St. Croix Central in the mid-1990s. Currently, she lives in Baldwin with her husband David and their 3 daughters, Ciola, Anna, and Britta. Cheryl works at Citizen State Bank, where she gets to be a part of the community that she grew up in. In her spare time, she enjoys the outdoors, coaching volleyball, and spending as much time with the family and making memories as she can. And Jamie Nelson. Jamie was born and raised in Osceola, Wisconsin, and attended the University of Wisconsin-Superior, where she received her Bachelor of Science degree in Speech Communications. She has spent nearly 10 years of her career in the nonprofit sector working for amazing organizations, including the American Cancer Society, Big Brother, Big Sisters, and St. Croix Hospice. Jamie is a first-time auntie to baby Brooks, so she spends a lot of her free time on FaceTime with him. She also serves as director for the Osceola Ambassador Program and loves working with young women in the community who strive to be leaders and make a difference. Thank you all for being with us. The decision ahead of you is sure to be tough.
With us being outdoors and not having as many luxuries as we did in the auditorium, please reference your programs for a better look at our candidates' supporting documents. Please welcome back candidate number 1, Kiara Afdal.
Hi guys, my name is Kara Afdal and I am candidate number 1. Today I will be sharing with you a little bit about me my battle with anxiety. Got it? Hi guys. Not yet. One of them will work, I promise.
There we go.
Sorry guys. We're not used to this, okay?
Doing great.
All right. Hi guys, my name is Kara Aftal and I am candidate number 1. For my personal presentation today, I will be sharing with you a little bit about me and my battle with anxiety, depression, and suicide. I will also be sharing with you my number 1 coping strategy. Let's do this. At the young age of 11, I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. This made it incredibly tough to function and do basic tasks at school. I felt trapped and unraveled. That is until I've had some amazing adults come in and help me find a path so I could function and do those tasks at school. That is until age 13. My anxiety tied into depression. Then at 14 to 15 years old, I had serious thoughts of ending my life. 15 years old. Let that sink in. These thoughts took away my future. I didn't see anything at all for me. That was until I've had some serious guardian angels, Mrs. Hinsman, come and help me realize it's okay. I'm not alone. I truly believe one major thing that helped me work through my continuing battle is learning coping strategies. If you look in your program, you'll see just who I'm talking about. First up, we've got Mr. Big Man, Ernie. This crazy little guy just learned the words refrigerator and house. However, my mom doesn't find it very funny to find him raiding the fridge of carrots and apples. Next up, we've got the geese, who know absolutely everything about everything, even though they only hatched a few months ago. Lastly, we've got the guinea pigs, who sing to me every morning, not very well, at the top of their lungs. Though these animals may be very different, they all do the same thing for me. They give me a reason to smile. They're able to pull me out of my darkest days of depression. If you are struggling, I highly recommend looking into finding a fuzzy friend for you. Finally, I want to leave you off with this. You are loved. You are worth it. Whatever you are going through, I believe in you. If you're struggling, please reach out to me, to somebody who will listen. Don't give up hope. It does get better. I am living proof of that. Life is short, and you deserve to be happy. Once again, my name is Kara Aftal, and I am candidate number 1. Thank you. Thank you, Kiara, for sharing your story. Next is candidate number 2, Mia. Mia Evans. I'm candidate number 2, and today I'll be talking about how the night sky has impacted me, beginning with being an astronaut at the Kennedy Space Center. American cartoonist Bill Watterson, author of the Calvin and Hobbes comic strip, once wrote, "If people sat outside
and looked at the stars each night. I'll bet they'd live a lot differently. The simple act of stargazing doesn't seem life-changing by any means, but it has a deeper impact on our emotions than we often realize. In a study that looked into our emotional responses to the night sky, participants watched 2 slideshows, one mimicking stargazing, and the other acting as a control variable. After each slideshow, participants were taken surveys were taken on participants' general emotions. The surveys taken after the night sky slideshow reported high levels of inspiration and joy, while stress levels were significantly lower. Stargazing is a natural source to lower stress, a fact that has been affirmed by our many studies on our reactions to the natural world. Ever since I was a little girl, I have been immersed in science. From my grandpa teaching me about literally anything I could find outside, to all of my amazing science classes at SEC, I could never get enough. That's why I was so excited to go to the Kennedy Space Center and meet an astronaut with my family. We met retired astronaut Robert Cabana, the current director of the Kennedy Space Center. He quickly became one of my childhood heroes as he led us around the entire museum. One of the parts that I most vividly remember was seeing him look at the spatial Atlantis for probably the millionth time in his life with tears in his eyes. It was at that moment that I wanted to know exactly what it was with space that could make a full-grown adult tear up. That day, I got my first astronomy book, and I began to fall in love with the night sky. A few years later, at age 11, I was given my first telescope by my parents. Before long, I had a backpack full of stargazing gear, and I continued to learn as much as I possibly could, much of it from different books that I spent birthday money on. Through middle and early high school, it was not easy to regularly stargaze, but as soon as quarantine started, I had plenty of extra time. The extra time, coupled with watching movies like The Martian and Hidden Figures, 2 of my now personal favorites, quickly reawakened my inner star nerd. After downloading a plethora of stargazing apps, I began to go outside at night as much as humanly possible. This led to me seeing the space station cross past me in the night sky for the first time, watched my first 2 live NASA launches, one to the space station and the other to Mars, and getting to see Comet Neowise as it passed by in July. Even without any of those events, the night sky leaves me speechless every single time, and I felt like an amazed little girl again. Now, if you recall the study I talked about earlier, stargazing has an incredible impact on our emotions. One part of the study I didn't mention before, though, was how they tested to see if dimmer stars or more polluted skies changed our reactions to the stars. Incredibly, the results showed that less than ideal conditions don't change our reactions at all. Anyone, anywhere, can have the same amazing reaction to the stars. But why would people live differently, just by looking at burning balls of gas hundreds of light years away? To continue quoting Calvin and Hobbes, it's because, when you look into infinity, you realize there are more important things than what people do all day. It's a humbling feeling, looking into infinity, but it's also a feeling of importance. The universe is so vast, but I was placed here, in beautiful little Hammond, Wisconsin. The chances of that happening are so small that I feel like I have to do something to help my little corner of the universe. The size of our universe is so massive that it gives me purpose, because if I was the only thing in existence, would I really have purpose? I can never know for certain, but I do know this. I want to change this world as much as I can, bit by bit. So next time you get the chance, go outside, look at the stars. I hope you can be as humbled and inspired as I have been. I'm Mia Evans, candidate number 2, and thank you so much for making today possible.
Thank you, Mia, for enlightening us. Now, candidate number 3, McKenna Hawkins.
Hi, my name is McKenna Hawkins, and I'm candidate number 3. And today I'm going to be talking to you about succulents, some of the issues they have, and how you might be able to help them. I've been growing succulents for about 3 years, and through those 3 years I found some tips and tricks that help plants live a little bit longer and live a lot healthier and look a little bit better. To start off my presentation, I thought I'd show what a good example of a healthy plant should be. If you look at this plant, closer up of course, you can see that the leaves are a little bit firmer, they're green, and they stand pretty tall. But the first big issue I'm going to be talking to you about today is sunlight when it comes to succulents. Every succulent is different when it comes to sunlight, so you have to watch with what your succulent is doing in your first times of having it, and soon you should be able to tell pretty quickly. First, I would show what a succulent that is probably not getting enough sun would look like. As you can see, this plant is kind of stretched out. It was a lot shorter than it's a lot taller than it used to be, and it's because it's trying to find as many ways to get nutrients as it possibly can by stretching out for the sun to get it. On the opposite side of the spectrum, though, there's too much sun for succulents. A common misconception is that succulents always want sun, but that's not true. Succulents can get sunburns very similar to human sunburns. When a succulent gets a sunburn, it's a little bit darker. If you look in your program, you'll see what can happen if a succulent gets a pretty serious sunburn, and it can eventually be lethal for them. A succulent sunburn is a little bit darker, and it looks kind of like the plant is rotting a little bit. To prevent this, though, a lot of times, succulents will have something called epicuticular wax. Epicuticular wax is like a self-produced sunscreen. It protects them from the sun and only gives them the amount of sun they need, not just constant stuff that will wear them down and eventually kill them. The next major issue I'm going to talk about is watering your succulents. Watering a succulent can be really tricky, but this is what a succulent looks like with too little water. As you can see in your program, it should be an example of one that has wrinkles on the sides of it. This is very clear to see in your succulent, and it's very easy to fix too. If you just give it a little bit more water over the next 2 or 3 days, this should correct itself, and it should go back to being a perfectly healthy plant. On the other end of that, though, there's overwatering a succulent. Overwatering a succulent can be lethal for a plant. This plant, it's dead. When a succulent gets overwatered, it drowns. The leaves will bloat and probably explode and die. There is an example of that in your pamphlet, and it is not good for the plant, and as far as I'm concerned or know, there is not a cure for death. The difference between life or death for these succulents was the self-draining pot. Because the water can get through here that this plant doesn't need through the holes and slits in the sides, it will not end up like our friend over here, and it will oftentimes live a lot healthier like this one. Like these plants, if we adapt to the unknown situations that are often thrown at us in the environment we're in, we too can thrive. Like COVID-19, if we all work together as a community and solve these issues that we may have, we too can be a happy, healthy succulent. My name is McKenna Hawkins. I'm candidate number 3. Thank you.
Thank you, McKenna, for those tips. Last but not least, candidate number 4, Carlene.
Hi, my name is Carlene Hedrick and I'm candidate number 4. Today I will be talking about my art. In the program that you guys have is the art that I'm most firmly used to, which is acrylic painting. But today I will be trying something new, which is hydro dipping a tumbler water bottle. To start off with, you need all of your materials, which is paper towels, a water bottle that is already pre-taped on the spots that you don't want to get spray paint on, gloves, any color spray paints that you want, a bucket with water in it, and some clear coat to finish it all off. To start off with, you should put on your gloves so you don't get any spray paint on your hands. Once you're done with that, you can take your base color, which is going to be this color, mine. If you guys can see, I'm not quite sure. But then you're going to want to shake it up. And you're going to want to spray it right in the bucket so you can get the really clear color of what it is. You want to try to put it right in the middle. And you don't want to do it too high up, otherwise it'll not get that color. And you don't want to do it too close because then it'll spray all over you. Next, I'm going to take my other color, which is this color, and I'm going to spray that in the center of that. You can do any design or pattern that you want, but I'm just going to spray them in the middle of the bow. Then I'm going to take my base color again, do the same thing. And then I'm going to take my final color, which is this color, and I'm going to spray that in the middle of that. You can keep doing this a couple of times. Once you are finished with the spray paint part, you want to take your water bottle, and you can dip it in this way, but the bucket's not big enough, so I'm going to be dipping it in this way. You want to slowly dip it in. And once it's fully submerged, you want to take your hand and wipe it around so no spray paint gets on top when you're taking it out. And then you want to slowly take it out. And it'll look like that. And afterwards, you can take you can take off any of the spray paint that is either bubbled up or it's just peeling off like this is, so then it doesn't leave a weird texture. Once you're done letting that sit for 24 to 72 hours, you want to take a clear coat and spray that over top of it. And this is what the final product of one of them looks like. Art has always inspired me throughout the years to try something new, just like I did today. I challenge all of you guys to go out and try something new, either it being art related or something different. My name is Carlene Hedrick and I'm candidate 4. Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much for coming to support us and the candidates.
As we call your court, please stand and wave.
Baldwin Royalty.
Osceola Royalty.
Hudson Ambassadors. Roberts Ambassadors.
Spring Valley Royalty.
Senamai Royalty. North Hudson Royalty.
Clayton Royalty.
Glenwood City Royalty and candidates. And River Falls Ambassadors. Thank you.
We now welcome our candidates back to the stage in their formals. Candidate number 1, Kiara Aftal. Kiara is escorted by her parents, Kurt and Autumn Aftal. She has chosen to run for Miss Hammond so she could be more involved in the community and lend a helping hand to show what the heart of St. Croix County is all about. In her free time, she enjoys caring for and loving her animals, tractor pulls, friends, family, and golfing. Please help us welcome candidate number 1, Kiara Aftal. Candidate number 2, Mia Evans. Mia is escorted by her parents, Chris and Amy Evans. She has chosen to run for Miss Hammond to be a role model for the younger generation and to impact the kids' days by shooting a little smile their way. Plus, who wouldn't want to be part of such a community tradition? In her free time, she likes to stay active outdoors and engage in learning, whether it's science or culture. She also enjoys traveling. Candidate number 2, Mia Evans. Candidate number 3, McKenna Hawkins. McKenna is escorted by her parents, Matt and Lisa Hawkins. She has chosen to run for Miss Hammond to network with peers and serve her community, especially those with special needs. In her free time, she enjoys caring for plants, listening to and playing music, singing, staying active outdoors, and spending time with friends and family. Candidate number 3, McKenna Hawkins. Candidate number 4, Carleen Hetrick. Carleen is escorted by her parents, Nate and Kelly Hetrick. She has chosen to run for Miss Hammond so she can make new friends outside of her community and show how fantastic our small town is, as well as try her hand in fundraising. In her free time, she spends a majority painting and also enjoys theater, pep band, and choir. She also loves to travel. Candidate number 4, Carleen Hetrick. So we got some free time. So we got some jokes for you. Please try not to laugh too hard. Last night I had a dream that I was drowning in orange soda. I woke up and realized it was just a fantasy. Did you hear the cheese factory that exploded in France? There was nothing left but debris. What's a pirate's favorite letter? R. You think it's R, but it be the C. That's all the time we have for jokes today. I apologize. Ladies, please step forward for your fishbowl questions. Kiara, please step forward and choose a question. Who has made All right, we're stepping forward. Who has
Come this way a little. Go this way a little bit.
Every direction until it works.
All right, Kiara. Who has made the biggest impact in your life and why? Who has made the biggest impact in your life and why?
The person who has made the biggest impact on my life is suspense. My grandma. She has been there for me since day one. She's taught me so much. Pretty much everything I know. She's one of the most honest, kindest, and funniest people I know out there. I look up to her so much. I hope I'm like her someday. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiara. If time If time travel were possible, what event or era in history would you travel back to and why? If time travel were possible, what event or era in history would you travel back to and why?
I would definitely travel back to the time when they were kind of building like the first space shuttles or the first like Apollo capsules, just because the people that worked on those things were so dedicated, and I'd love to learn like amazing dedication like that from them. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. My kind of step forward. If I were a genie in a bottle and could grant you any one wish, what would that be and why? If I were a genie in a bottle and could grant you any one wish, what would that be and why?
If I had any one wish, as cheesy as it is, I would wish for world happiness, because there's a lot of darkness in this world, and if we could all just be happy together, the world would just be a much better place. Thank you.
Thank you, McKenna. Carlene, please step forward. How would you promote Hammond if you were to win Miss Hammond? How would you promote Hammond if you were to win Miss Hammond?
I would definitely promote Hammond on my social media because it's a great place for everybody to see, because a lot of people are on social media, and I would just promote all of the good things that Hammond has to offer. Thank you. Thank you, Carlene, and best of luck to you all. We will see you soon.
For the final time, I would like to introduce the 2019 Royal Court.
Princess Krista Gary, escorted by her parents, Bill and Melissa Gary. And her sister Paige. Princess and Miss Congeniality, Cassie Wang, escorted by her parents, Theron and Corrine Wang.
Miss Hammond, Jaslyn Geiger, escorted by parents John and Brittany Geiger.
The 2019 Royal Court would like to say their farewells. Please see the sideshow set up inside for a year in photos.
Mine's very short and sweet, so you're welcome. As our year has come to an end, I can now add this experience to my list of impulsive decisions. I never thought I would do something so far out of my comfort zone until these two wonderful girls sitting over there convinced me somehow to become a candidate. And let me say I'm glad I did. A fun memory that I have is when at the Osceola parade we somehow got the Osceola marching band to do the YMCA dance with us. Or the times we would see a police officer in the crowd and we would wave at them until they noticed us and waved back. But I think what makes being on court the best is watching the kids' eyes light up as they see that we are waving to them. To our families, thank you so much for putting up with us and our shenanigans, pulling the float, and providing the snacks before the parade started. To Cassie, thank you for being the best dancing buddy I could ever ask for and for helping me fix my crown when it became crooked, which it probably is now. And for waving at every cop we saw no matter how long it took for them to notice us, and for taking responsibility when the need arose. To Jazzy, thank you for being a goofball and keeping spirits high, even when it was quite literally raining on our parade. To the Sparkle section, thank you for the dance parties before parades and becoming some of my closest friends, and thank you for the many laughs at the tease. Now to the girls that we're going to be crowned tonight, don't let anything pass you by. Have fun. This is going to sound cliche, but communication is a really big part. Whether it's for rides or the time and place of an event, it makes everything go so much smoother. I won't lie to you, this is going to put you very far outside your comfort zone. You gotta embrace it though, it'll get easier, I promise. Thank you for coming today, and for the last time, I will forever be your 2019-2020 princess.
If someone had told me 5 years ago that I'd be standing here today, I would have definitely called them a liar. When I was perhaps 2 or 3 years old, I admired the courts that sat gallantly on their floats during the parades. But as I grew older, I never quite felt the urge to try and sit in those seats myself. Yet, here I am today, standing before you as a princess of the court, and being a part of this court has brought upon a mountain of fond memories. Some of my absolute favorite memories happen to be from the few parades that we were able to attend and enjoy. When you board the float for a parade, you have no idea what to expect. And I found that out quite quickly. Sometimes you find teenage boys using kitchen tongs to clap, or hundreds of people shouting and smiling at you, begging for your attention. It feels like you're being pulled in a million directions. But throughout everything, I had a complete blast. I remember a time when all three of us on the court blew a kiss to a little boy, and he smiled so brightly before becoming shy and hiding behind his mother. Another particularly fun time was when we ended up stopped in the middle of a parade due to a band performing. It felt like we were there for at least 10 minutes, but my fellow princess and I danced the whole time away while our queen continued to wave at the same crowd over and over again behind us. And although I cannot say I am not disappointed at the lack of activity for our reigning year due to the coronavirus, I can say that I am thankful for the time that we were allowed. During what felt like a shortened time frame, I was able to push myself out of my comfort zone and make strong bonds with new and old faces. So, to the Lions Club and my sponsor, Lord Price, thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to not only be able to represent my community, but also to grow and discover myself as a part of the Hammond royalty. To the Sparkle section, thank you for opening your arms to us and sharing fun, irreplaceable memories. To our parents, thank you for dealing with all of our stupid mistakes and silly ideas. When we forgot something, you often had it. When something went wrong with the float, you usually knew how to fix it. Thank you for coming on this journey with us. To our coordinators, Liz and Kaylee, thank you for always being there for us and making us laugh. Although we didn't see you at all of the events we went to, we always knew that we could contact you with any questions. Both of you were always so down to earth and have had so many fun conversations with you. But again, thank you for sticking with us despite the fact that I'm sure we started to become irritating at times. To Jazzy, our queen, thank you for always being silly and being the one to make us laugh. Sometimes we really needed that when things weren't going as planned. You were often the one to convince us to relax. To Krista, my dancing buddy, thank you for being the one to help me create weird dance moves for a song and to perform those dances during the parade. I always had a ton of fun doing them, and thank you for continuing to be responsible with me when we needed to be serious. And finally, to our upcoming court, remember every memory, take all the photos, never miss a chance for a silly moment. Be yourselves. In all reality, I could leave you with a list of tips and hints to being on court, but sometimes the best advice, and the one I hope to pound into your head, is to have fun. Even if you forget some of the other things you should be doing, have fun. Do the things that make you smile and beam from delight. If you are doing an event that doesn't seem interesting or exciting to you, think of it in a different perspective or way. Find ways to enjoy the time on court together, because although it flies by in a split second, you are still spending an entire year in each other's company. So get used to it. Share the fun, the responsibility, the opportunity, the frustrations, and the joy. Please, if you take one thing out of this experience, let it be something that you can look back on with a smile plastered on your face. I would like to thank you all for coming to see these lovely ladies be crowned. And for the last time, I will forever be your 2019-2020 Princess and Miss Congeniality.
Okay, this will be a long one. Maybe the judges need some more time, so I'll give them that. When I was a little girl, my favorite part of the parades was always the royalty. I loved seeing the beautiful girls and the handsome boys, and would get so excited whenever they would wave to me. And never once did it occur to me that I could do that too. If you had told little 5-year-old Jazzy that someday I would be up on that float, waving and blowing kisses to a crowd, I probably would have laughed at you. But here I am today, speaking in front of you at the end of my reign as royalty. I'm so incredibly grateful and honored to have been able to be Miss Hammond for a year. Despite many of our events being canceled this summer, I still had a great year full of learning and memory making. Being royalty, I made many, many great memories and new friends. But my absolute favorite memory would have to be from the Winter Carnival. As Miss Hammond, I was completely funded to go to the Winter Carnival in St. Paul. There, I was able to spend a few nights in a hotel with many other royalties, learn about St. Paul and the Winter Carnival, go to the Winter Carnival coronation, and just have fun. The coronation there is an absolutely incredible experience. After burning my forehead with a flat iron and breaking my crown, I put on my best gown and was ready for a long and eventful night. For the entertainment part of the coronation, Circus Juventus, I don't know how to say it, but they were there. The performance was phenomenal and exhilarating, my favorite of them being the silk performers. There was one right in front of my table, just out of arm's length. At some point, the silk even flew across my face. But my favorite memory came from after the coronation. The room was really hot and stuffy, and after dancing and socializing with the other girls for a bit, one of my roommates, Miss Amanda Grant from Clayton, and I decided to go downstairs and explore the rest of the venue. The floor was tile, and I remember how satisfyingly my shoes clicked on it. After a bit of walking, Amanda and I started to attempt to ballroom dance together. It was truly such a surreal and magical moment. I really felt like royalty, ballroom dancing as my beautiful yellow gown twirled out from beneath me. I remember the strongest surge of happiness, and I was so invigorated with excitement. It really felt like a night from a fairy tale. As we danced, I thought about how truly thankful and grateful I felt to be where I was, to be Miss Hammond, and to be making such amazing memories that I'll have with me for the rest of my life. I don't know if I will be able to describe how I felt that moment, badly twirling and dancing with Amanda, but I will always remember the feeling. Not only has royalty been a chance to gain irreplaceable memories, but I have also had the chance to grow as a person thanks to the help from this program. Unfortunately, I feel like there can be a misunderstanding as to what royalty is. A lot of people may see it as girls and boys dressing up in fancy clothes with crowns and tiaras, but it is so much more than just that. You learn the importance of helping and understanding your community, and it gives you the opportunity to grow so much as a person. For me, it really helped me with my concept of my own femininity. While growing up as a young lady, many girls, including myself, experienced being teased at some point for liking objects or ideas that were and are considered to be girly. We were made fun of for liking pink and purple, for painting our nails, or wearing dresses. We were teased for being a girl. That's like teasing a little boy for liking cars and monster trucks. Stereotypes are pushed onto us, and we get teased for fitting into that stereotype. Due to that, I saw femininity and being girly as something to be ashamed of, and therefore, I rejected the idea of being a girly girl. But deep down, I wanted to embrace my femininity. So I struggled with heavy internal conflict growing up. Just starting to put on mascara caused such turmoil inside of me. But thanks to royalty, I've grown to realize that being a girl and expressing my femininity is something to be proud of. I've become so much more comfortable with myself and with being a girly girl. I love putting on dresses, makeup, and my crown during my reign. I love to feel pretty. I feel so much more confident in myself and with how I want to show myself. I'm so thankful for royalty for letting me grow and learn in this way. And to all the young girls out there, be proud of who you are and what you like, whether it's fashion and flowers or cars and trains. There is no right or wrong, and there is no definition for what a girl should like. You're allowed to like what you like, and it took me a long time, 17 years, to learn that. Royalty is so much more than dressing up, and I'm so very grateful that I was able to learn that. And with that, I would like to start my thank yous. First, to the Lions Club and my sponsors, Razlan Maine and the Hammond Arts Alliance. Thank you so very much. Without your support, I wouldn't have been able to go to the Winter Carnival, and I wouldn't be wearing this lovely dress and jewelry. To the Sparkle section. Thank you all for the photos and fun times before the parades. I loved always excitingly waving to each other from our floats whenever we saw each other during the routes. And thank you for coming here to support us tonight and our candidates. To our 4 amazing candidates, you have no idea how proud I already am of you guys. You are all such amazing girls, and I know that whoever gets crowned tonight will do an amazing job. I cannot wait to pass my crown onto one of you. Get ready for a year of fun, and like you've heard before, lots of photos. You guys are going to do great, and you can always rely on us 3 and the previous 3 for advice and support if you ever need it. To my coordinators, thank you for everything you guys have done. As coordinators, you do a lot of work for us behind the scenes. You create our schedules, handle our invites, and tell us where to be and when. You help us with ideas for our parades and events and organize everything. Thank you so much for being amazing coordinators. To my parents. First off, I'm sorry for not telling you that I was running until it was too late, Dad. I really just pulled you into this without any warning. Despite that, thank you, Mom and Dad, for being open-minded and willing to be just as committed to this as I was. Thank you for pulling the float, helping me get ready in the mornings, getting snacks, driving places, and helping and giving support whenever possible. I couldn't have done this without your help and support. To Miss Congeniality, Cassie. Thank you for always pinning my crown. I only managed to pin my crown by myself twice. You just have the magic touch. Without you, I'd have broken more than just one crown. Thank you for always being organized and staying on top of everything. I'm not the most responsible, and I forget things easily, but that's why I have someone like you on my side to keep me in check. You've been so patient with me and so kind and caring. There cannot have been a better fitting Miss Congeniality. To my princess, Krista. Yes, even though you were the victim of my teasing, I do love you so much. I'm so incredibly proud of you, and I'm so honored to have been able to see you grow. Thank you for being your goofy self and for always making me laugh and bringing a smile to my face. I watched you go from being nervous in social settings to be able to go up to courts and guide conversations on your own. You've come out of your shell so much, and I can't wait for how you will continue to grow on your own. Thank you, ladies, for an incredible and unforgettable year. I was not a queen on my own. I always had you two with me to take care of me and watch over me. When I went to the Winter Carnival, I had a great time, but missed you guys every day. It really helped me realize how lucky and how happy I was to have you two. I could not have chosen a better court to share my year with. I'm so glad that we were able to reconnect and grow our friendships thanks to royalty. Lastly, thank you to everyone else who supported us and cheered us on. Thank you to the little boys and girls for the excited giggles and waves, and to the older gentlemen and ladies for the kind smiles and encouragement. Thank you to those who danced and yelled. Thank you for letting us see the royalty in you, and for helping us to see the royalty in ourselves. I could never have asked for a better experience in my life. I am so humbled and honored to have been able to serve as Miss Hammond. And with that, I will forever and always be your 2019-2020 Miss Hammond. Thank you.
Okay, now can you guys hear me? Sorry about that. Thank you all for coming this afternoon. I am Liz Pizzi, and on behalf of both the Hammond Lions Foundation and the Hammond Royalty Committee, I would like to thank these ladies for a great year. For a successful year on the court, the Hammond Lions Foundation offers a scholarship to each of the girls that they will be presented with at their scholarship banquet next May. We would also like to give them the photos that have been hanging at the Village Hall this year. Thank you, Jazzy, Cassie, and Krista for hanging in there in such a crazy year. Kaylee and I wish you the best of luck in all of your future endeavors. We know you can accomplish anything you put your mind to.
Alrighty, so as Liz said, we thank you all for coming to support our 2019 court, as well as those that will make up our 2020 court. Jazzy, Cassie, and Krista, you three are the definition of resilience in a world of uncertainty. We cannot thank you enough for being so strong this past year and sticking with us even when we had literally no answers for you. Tonight, we'd also like to thank Nate and the staff at Pheasant Hills for being so incredibly accommodating to us when we had no idea what our plan was and it changed a million times. To Brian Millar, thank you for streaming this on the SCC YouTube channel. I know this is completely outside of your normal realm of sports commentating, and we so appreciate you taking the time to do this for us. We'd also like to thank our amazing partners who selflessly and continuously donate to us. Stitch and Post, Portraits by Kelsey, Auntie Heather, Farm to Fist, Russ Davis, Parkside Restaurant and Bar, and Stellar Graphics. Again, thank you all for your support. It means the world to us, this organization, our club, and our girls.
Now what you've all been waiting for, it's time to crown the 2020 court. Help me welcome these amazing candidates back to the stage.
Before we crown the 2020 court, please wait for photos until your family or court is called up. Miss Congeniality, candidate number 1, Kiara Afdal.
And Princess, candidate number 4, Carleen Hetrick. Princess, candidate number 3, McKenna Hawkins. Alright, and Princess, candidate number 1, Kiara Aftal.
That leaves Miss Hammond as candidate number 2, Mia Evans. Miss Hammond 2020 and her royal court. Thank you for joining us.
Good job, you all did great.
As for pictures with other royalties and family members, we can do those inside at the T. And you can head up to the